You should really try to eat healthy, my family would say. We're saying this because we love you, they would tell me. Man, I really should have listened to them. Someone being overweight is nothing new in our world, and people dying from it isn't even a shock anymore. But I never thought that I'd be this close to death. It was right after one of my routine talks with my family. The larger your waistline, the shorter your lifetime, my dad would say. You really need to turn your life around, I'd always hear. My aunt came up to me and said, you should go on walks with me. I have a group in everything. It'll be really fun. After hearing that, I felt dizzy from the eye roll that I gave her. I don't understand people who claim that walking is fun. Walking is torture. You don't walk for enjoyment, you walk to get where you need to go. And don't even get me started on people who run for fun. I consider those people sociopaths. In retrospect, I really should have taken my aunt up on her offer. After listening to my family drone on for another half hour about my health condition, they finally gave up. As I was about to leave, my aunt grabbed me by the shoulder and pulled me off to the side and said, please, don't take offense to what I'm trying to say, and understand that we're telling you this because we care. But you are very likely to experience some sort of heart condition, and your size and eating habits are just raising that bar. I looked at her with anger, not because I was offended, but because I knew that she was right. I was about to storm off and head home when she said one more thing. You should at least know ways to keep yourself safe if the worst happens. She handed me a sheet of paper that said, 3 steps to stop a heart attack. I looked at the paper incredulously, but I read it anyway. The first 2 steps were to take an aspirin and to put cayenne pepper under your tongue. But the last one made me let out a bitter laugh. It was to just have a phone. Just call the hospital if you feel like you're about to die, as if it's not the first thing that I'd try to do. But at the time, all I saw it as was my aunt belittling my intelligence with the last one because of how obvious it was. And with that, I stormed off and went home. A few days later, I was still annoyed with my aunt and her tips, but what aggravated me more than anything was that I still had no idea why I had kept the stupid piece of paper. So I did what I always do when I'm angry or annoyed. I went to get food. After my excursion to get some edible heaven, I came home, burger and soda in hand. I'd eaten my fries on the drive home, but they weren't sitting well with me. They were a little too greasy even for my taste, so I had decided to eat the rest when I got home. I moved to the kitchen to heat up my burger, which had went cold on the drive, even though they never taste right once you reheat them, when I felt that something was wrong. I felt a tightness in my chest that instantly made me break into a cold sweat. Then I felt nauseous and lightheaded. I started to sway. This made me drop my soda that spread all across the kitchen floor. I felt my stomach turn as I grabbed the piece of paper my aunt had given me. It said that my condition fit the terms of an oncoming heart attack. I felt my breath get caught in my throat and my legs buckle as I felt a wave of fatigue fall over me. I tried to catch my balance, but it felt as if my legs were being pulled out from under me. Then I slipped on my spilled soda. With that, I heard a loud snap. I looked down to see that my right foot was now twisted at a nasty looking angle. I tried to give a shout of agony, but my voice got caught along with my breath. I lay there on my kitchen floor, in an horrendous amount of pain, about to die from a heart attack with a broken leg. I lay there slumped, thinking how I could have changed things. I looked over to the paper my aunt had given me, and realized if only I had an Advil, I'd be fine, or if I could just get up to get my phone. I let out an almost inaudible chuckle at how ironic that felt, that the only thing that I had complained about on that paper actually came to fruition. Then I remembered that my cupboards were right above me, with some seasoning, and that I might actually have some cayenne pepper. I pushed myself up so that I was on my hands and knees, and I tried to take a deep breath as I pulled myself up onto the counter. All the while my world spins. I reached into the cupboard and dug around, looking for my only hope of salvation. Then I found it, just as I was about to give up hope. I found an old bottle of cayenne pepper at the back of the cupboard, covered in dust. I rejoiced inwardly and moved to open the bottle, but as I did, my leg was carried out from me once again by the soda. But this time, it was pulled backwards, causing me to slam chin first into the counter. Then I slammed to the ground. After that, I felt my mind start to swim, and it began to beg me to let the darkness that was creeping in around my vision to consume me, and let myself slip away into unconsciousness and eventual death. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't allow it, even though I was in the most pain that I've ever experienced. I looked at my hand in surprise to see that I had somehow managed to hold on to the cayenne pepper. So I opened the bottle and I raised it to my mouth as bits of dust and dirt fell into my nose and eyes. I opened my mouth to hear the most horrendous crunching sound as I realized that I had broken my teeth, my jaw, or probably both. But I pushed past the terrible pain and sound and I tilted the bottle back and raised my tongue and let the pepper do its thing. As I expected, my mouth was on fire, but that was by far the least painful part of my body. I laid there on the floor for I don't know how long, but I gradually felt my condition getting better. My chest stopped hurting and my roll stopped spinning, and I figured it was time for me to try and move so I can get some help. Then I realized that my mouth was in more pain than when I first put the pepper in, and I figured that I should probably spit it out. When I did, I felt as if I was about to have a heart attack all over again, because along with the pepper and the bloody saliva, there were little black beetles crawling around. I looked inside the bottle to see hundreds of the beetles, crawling and writhing in the pepper. Then I realized I could feel them. Some of them were still crawling around in my mouth. I moved to spit again, but there was only saliva and more pepper. No black beetles. Then I rubbed the palm of my hand across my cheek to feel little bumps moving under my skin. I lay here on the kitchen floor still. I'm writing all of this on the piece of paper my aunt had given me. This has taken me far too long to write, because I continuously slip in and out of consciousness and I don't know why. But every time I wake up I can feel the beetles moving through more and more parts of my body. I don't want to die like this. I can feel them moving in my chest. I don't want to be left alone. Someone, please help me. Hello once again, and thank you for listening to my last story of 2018. I truly hope that you've enjoyed. Please consider subscribing and hitting that like button for more stories like the one that you just listened to. My important links are in the description down below. I hope to see you next video, and expect more horrific tales throughout 2019, written by me, Onyx the Mad Man, from a world much like your own. Have a happy new year.